It is exactly 1 p.m. East African time. Good afternoon. I hope you're having yourself a wonderful Sunday. Welcome to this day's edition of News Now on this wonderful 28th day of July 2024, the last Sunday of the month. I am George Maringa, and right here on TV47, the home of untold stories, we have a lot lined up for you, including banditry resurges in the North Rift with an attack leaving one man nursing gunshot wounds and his cattle stolen by the marauders. Police in Bertera sub-county are on the spot after allegedly shooting and killing a 21-year-old in a supposed case of mistaken identity. And the Kenya Muslims National Advisory Council puts pressure on the state to compensate all families who lost their kin in the anti-government demos. We thank you for choosing TV47 to inform you. I am at George Maringa _ across the socials. The Kenya Muslims National Advisory Council, KEMNAC, is calling on the government to ensure all families whose kin died during the anti-government demonstrations are compensated. Speaking to the press, the Muslim leader Sheikh Jumangao called on the government to prosecute all the police officers who were involved in the killing of protesters, including the former police boss. Nonetheless, Sheikh also urged the youths to call off demonstrations since the president is in the process of implementing all their grievances.
Polisi wote waliopiga risasi waandamanaji katika jenzi, polisi hao wakamatwe mara moja. Kuanzia former IGO police. Kila mzazi ambaye kutoka kupigwa risasi serikali imlipe fidia. Waomba kwa heshima na adabu kama watu wasifanye tena maandamano. Watoe nafasi hivi sasa madai yao yawe implemented.
Naomba tutulie, wale ambao wanataka maandamano weke maandamano yao mtandaoni, ila hapa hatutaki maandamano.
Sasa rais, toa wasiwasi. Gunzi wakija deal nao. Na sisi hapa tunasema tutawaruhusu. Apende asipende, sisi kama Gen Z tumefurahia. Asante sana Mr. Rais Ruto.
Huku Mombasa tulisaulika sana, lakini kwa sasa tuna furaha, umetukumbuka. Na Mheshimiwa Joe, tunakutakia kila laheri, ufanye kazi venye ulifanya ile ya kwanza.
The North Rift region of Kenya is once again experiencing a resurgence of banditry despite President Ruto's assurances that the issue has been addressed. On Friday, bandits raided Saimosoi Ward, Baringo North, leaving one man sustaining gunshot wounds after being attacked by bandits who drove away all his cattle.
Basi wakati nimeenda hivi nikakaa tu chini, nikasikia sasa huko nyuma risasi, nikasikia risasi huko nyuma, kuangalia ni wale wa jamaa ni waine, akanipiga risasi, lakini nilirudi wakati ngine akanimiss hii mguu ingine, nikaenda hivi, huyu mwingine akasema malize.
When he arrived, we actually looked at him. He had a gunshot at the mid shaft, mid tibia fibula. The gun went through the anterior part of the tibia and exited through the posterior.
Ile insecurity inarudi tena. Kwa mwezi kama mwezi moja na nusu, because kuanzia mwezi wa 5 katikati na huu mwezi wa 6 wote hatujawahi kuwa na issue, na watu hata walikuwa wamerudi nyumbani. Watu wamerudi Ngaratuko, watu wamerudi mpaka bande ya Saimosoi wote, karibu kila mahali Kakir, watu walikuwa wameanza kurudi manyumbani hata kama hawakuwa na mahali pa kwenda kuishi, lakini walirudi kwao.
More than 12,000 residents in Mso Ward, Keyo North constituency in Elgeyo Marakwet County will benefit from the construction of 2 dams that were launched by Kerio Valley Development Authority, KVDA. According to the managing director of KVDA, Sami Naporos, he said that the organization aims to provide the people of Kerio Valley with clean water. Elgeyo Marakwet Governor Wesley Rotich announced that his government will collaborate to guarantee the timely and successful completion of the projects, enabling residents to create various projects for appropriate agricultural development throughout the year.
Launching groundbreaking 2 projects worth 100 million. It's a transformative agenda in this particular area. As you all know, that among the responsibility, the mandate of Kerio Valley Development Authority is water access and water supply among the communities, especially in the Kerio Valley. Anytime I tell them to do wealth creation, they ask me, Governor, where do you get the water? I think today we are actually sorting out that issue so that our people will not have any excuse, any complaint when they are doing the cash crop. These projects today are going to serve, I think there are 2 projects. This only will serve 8,000 people. The other one will serve another 4,000 people. We are going to have a total of almost 12,000 people being served by these 2 projects. That will mean the lives of the people will never be the same again.
But tuko na pesa, tukipanda vitu hatuhangaiki ati labda unaweza panda na ikauke. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru, tunaona hii project ni mzuri sana.
The Kenya Afri-Grain Automobile Limited officially partnered with Cherry Motors Company, a step that fosters in revolutionizing the transport sector in Kenya, signaling the boost in embracing sustainable, eco-friendly mobility solutions across East Africa. Speaking during the event, Investment Promotion PS Abubakar Hassan assured investors of the government's commitment to providing the necessary support and infrastructure to ensure the success of such ventures. Over the next 5 years, Afri-Grain aims to assemble and sell 5,000 to 6,000 vehicles annually to both public and private sectors, establishing comprehensive EV charging infrastructure throughout the country.
But for this vehicle to operate, we need, you're right, we need the charging infrastructure. And as government, what we are putting across is that is an investment opportunity, and we want to partner with private sector through public-private partnership to create, to establish that infrastructure. However, in this investment today, they are not only putting an assembly point for assembling EV, but they will also put the charging infrastructure.
We have looked at the market. We have done our research together with Cherry. Cherry, as I said, is present in more than 80 countries, so they have a know-how. Looking at the Kenya market, we have zeroed down into the SUV segment. We have to look at both urban as well as rural terrain. This vehicle, Omoda E5, is all-terrain vehicle and can last even rains and any sort of terrains. So we think this is the right fit in the first phase of launching the EV cars in Kenya.
And also, according to Kenya's current situation, no matter the fuel price, the cost for the citizens, I think this is a very great opportunity for us to push the EV cars and to save the people's cost and having a better choice from the transportation and also making a great life.
Now tonight, President Dr. William Ruto will be holding a presidential town hall from 7:30 p.m. and that town hall will be broadcasted live right here on TV47 as well as our sister radio station Radio 47. Our very able team has pitched camp in Mombasa, the coastal city, and we are now joined live by our very own Linda Alela to just bring us up to speed on what exactly is going to be happening at the coast. Good afternoon, Linda. I'm sure it is a wonderful afternoon to you. How is the coast treating you, and what should we expect, especially from 7:30 p.m. during the presidential town hall?
All right. Thank you so much. So, George Maringa, as you have rightfully said, that this is the first, rightfully said, that this is the first ever of its kind town hall session that is going to be held right here where I am standing at the Kenya School of Government in Mombasa County, the main auditorium. This is where the President of the nation then speaks to the people for the very first time as President, but as well one of a kind of a town hall setup where we will definitely be expecting Kenyans from the coastal region, to have that session where they get to engage the President one-on-one. Of course, this culminating, of course, from what it is that we have witnessed in the country in relation to the protests that were staged by the Gen Zs and basically the Kenyans who were trying to highlight their discontent on the question of governance in the country, and perhaps away from the roundtable sessions where the President has had a chance to speak to the people, away from the press briefs that he has held in the country, away from the space session that he had. This unique session again will allow the residents of Mombasa County to question the President on a couple of matters. Of course, the question of governance, the question of corruption, and the question of the adjustments of his cabinet and the government at large towards his bid on addressing the concerns that have been raised by the people. You have realized that this is the third day of the development tour by the President at the coastal region. He has so far gone to different counties, of course, Kwale County, Kilifi County, Mombasa County. This morning, he fellowshipped with the people of ACK St. Peter's Ngwama alongside the CS, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, and of course, going or proceeding to having a session again with the people down there, just engaging the people as well as speaking to the questions of development for the people of Taita Taveta. And then later in the day, as we have said, then he will proceed to this very auditorium so that we can have that first of its kind town hall session where the President then gets to address the people of Mombasa County and generally a representative of basically, or representation of basically the people of Kenya. And as I have said, a raft of matters that he will be addressing, but then again, just a pointer or, pointing out to some of the things that the President has been doing right here. Of course, we witnessed him, speaking to the people of Likoni yesterday. And as I have said, he has toured the different other counties of the coastal region, Kilifi, Kwale, as well as Mombasa right here. And he has spoke to the numerous promises that he has for the people of the coastal region. Of course, one of the biggest promises is the expansion of the Mombasa port that, of course, is supposed to see an investment of about 42 billion. That then will be a plus, not just for the people of Mombasa County, but basically the country at large. And the President has been received rather warmly, different from what we would have expected coming from that moment where we've had a series of demonstrations across the country. This owing to the fact that he named his preferred cabinet recently, and speaking to the fact that, he wooed the people of Mombasa by picking one of their very own, that is Hassan Ali Joho, who is, of course, nominated in the position of mining, if at all he's going to be vetted and, given that clean bill of health by the National Assembly, as well as Salim Buria, who, of course, has been nominated on the trade and industry, that is, and investment industry. And also we get to see whether indeed these ones are going to get a clean bill of health. But like I have rightfully said, the President has, made tremendous promises to the people of Mombasa County, to the people of the coastal region. And one of the biggest questions is that will he be able to, make sure that these promises then are achieved? Because then again, one of the reasons why we have witnessed the President being castigated is of the fact that, of course, he's been seen to offer different promises across the different parts of the country. But then again, some of these promises have not been fulfilled. Of course, he says that he is committed to changing the government for the betterment of every other Kenyan citizen and beyond. And of course, looking at some of the things that, of course, he has addressed as well on the question of politics, also talking about the likes of Aisha Jumwa, who many argued that, well, perhaps it was time for them to go. And indeed, the President, ensured that some of these people, of course, were let out of government during that moment where he proceeded to dismiss his entire cabinet. But of course, highlighting that he still appreciates what it is that the other CSs did. And of course, he continues to work with them because every other Kenyan should be given the opportunity as well to serve in whatever capacity. And of course, this coming at the backdrop of the talks of politics, Right Honorable Raila Odinga as well, coming out to say that indeed they had a conversation before some of the members of the ODM were sent to this other side so that they could be dominated by the president, that is for the cabinet positions, and saying that, well, there are a couple of things that, of course, he advised the president he must address so that then we have a peaceful nation. And therefore, that's basically what we'll be looking at. I am sure Kenyans have lots of questions for the president tonight. It's going to be an exciting session, like I have said, one of its kind, where the president then gets to speak to the people of Mombasa and the people of Kenya at large right here at the Kenya School of Government. Like you have said, George, we will certainly be, of course, carrying this event live on our station, that is TV47, as well as our sister station, that is Radio 47, just to give you the updates of this session that is indeed going to be incredible, beginning at 7 p.m. this night. So let's all look forward to that as we get to hear the head of state speak to the people of Kenya. George, over to you.
Thank you very much, Linda Alela, our very own Linda Alela, giving us a very, very comprehensive update on that presidential town hall that will be coming your way right here on TV47. Do stand by for that and much more. She is part of our very able team right here on TV47 that will be bringing you live that coverage of the presidential town hall on TV47 and Radio 47. From the coast, police in Eshi Nyilu Ward, Bertera Sub-County are on the spot after allegedly shooting and killing a 21-year-old. Residents claim that it was a case of mistaken identity, whereby the two were headed to Bertera to pick their loved ones before they were met with the fatal confrontation. Boaz Katiech, a victim of the night clash, is left nursing critical injuries as both families cry for justice.
Alikuwa anataka kuchapa boss, sasa sisi tukamrusha nje. Tukafika kwa nyumba, huyo jamaa mwenye alinivuruga huko kwa kazi naye akaingia. Akaanza kunigongeshia mlango na alikuwa na panga. Tukaona hii imekuwa too much. Demo nilikuwa naye akapigia polisi simu. Sasa vile walikuja wakadhani wale wenye walibaki kwa njia wako pamoja na huyo mwenye alikuwa anatuzozea huko. Sasa wakaanza kulenga marisasi.
Wavulana walikuwa watatu, tukaambia kijana mmoja tuingie kwa nyumba. Huko kwenye message tulimwambia walikuwa boyfriend yangu. Kamwambia twende, tukaenda naye kwa nyumba. Sasa kidogo tukasikia tu marisasi mbili zikifuatana tata. Nikamwambia maybe ni rubber bullet. Tena ya tatu ikafuata nyuma, lakini siwezi tena, ni vijana bado wangali.
Kwa ameshaenda, si tumebaki kwa njia na Dan. Nikiona mtu anatokezea huko juu, nikiambia Dan, huyu mtu mwenye anakuja mimi ameniogopesha. Venye nilikuwa nataka kukiki. Sasa venye niliambia Dan kaa vizuri, kumbe alikuwa ameshapiga Dan risasi. Sasa mimi ndio venye nilisikianga tu mingi huko nikienda.
Nikamuuliza mlikuwa wangapi na mlikuwa mnaenda nini? Akaniambia hapana mama, tulikuwa tumeenda kwa bai ya warembo kuchukua wasichana.
Further afield, on Sunday, curtains will fall on the 3-day convention of the Jala Salana by the Ahmadiyya community after intensive days of prayers, consultation and discussions surrounding peace within the globe. Our very own Moiga William had set camp in the United Kingdom, where the event has been taking place, and brings us the latest. Take a look.
Well, thank you back in studio, and of course we're joining you from Alton in England, the United Kingdom. We have been pitching tent here for the past 3 days, covering the Jala Salana, the 58th annual convention of this particular event, which brings together the Ahmadiyya community from across the globe. I mean, all flags, every nation is represented here. And TV47 has been boots on ground, bringing you details bit by bit on what has been taking shape here in the United Kingdom. Now, it has been 3 days of this particular event, and today we understand is the last day. 3 days of the Jala Salana of 2024, and today is the last day. In the first day, we saw the spiritual leader of this community officially opening this event with a significant, that is the raising of the flag of this particular community. And also the second day, we witnessed intensive activities taking place here at Alton. And today is the third day. the last day, marking the end of this convention, which is organized annually. So today we're expecting quite some different scenarios and events. We'll be able to speak to some of the people who have attended this convention and get a recap. I mean, what is this event all about? But in the first day, we managed to speak to a number of Kenyans who are also present in this particular event, which has brought together, like I told you before, the whole world is here. But most importantly, over 40,000 people are gathered in this particular area. But like I said, also Kenyans were present, and we managed to engage with them. And part of what brought them here is to make a prayer. And according to them, the prayer really was heavy on the situation back home. And the situation back home, remember, it has been more than a month of the youth-led, or popularly now known as the Gen Z, that who have been protesting against the government, clamoring for better governance. And those who attended this particular convention did make their prayers, but heavy on the situation back home, calling for peace, tranquility, and more so, better governance to prevail in the country. We expect to also today speak to a number of Kenyans to tell us about the 3 days, how it has been for them, and also to get some sights and sound from Alton, more so in this particular convention that has made the Ahmadiyya community 40,000 plus to converge here. And just like I mentioned earlier, also, this is an annual event, and TV47 has been at the forefront to bring you up to speed on the details, bit by bit, blow by blow, of the happenings here at Alton, more so about the Ahmadiyya community, and especially the Jala Salana, the 58th edition. So we are ears on ground, boots on ground, also our hands all on deck to ensure that you get every information that come out of here, more so that relates to what is taking place here, but that concerns you as a citizen of Kenya. That is all from me. My name is Moige William. Now I take it back to you in studio.
Thank you, Moige, for that comprehensive report. We'll be looking forward to see what else comes out of East Hampshire in the UK. The Human Resources Department of Kenya, along with other relevant parties, has devised measures to enhance the working conditions of Kenyan workers by creating a conducive work environment. A guidebook called HR Profession in Kenya, published by the Human Resource Management College in association with national stakeholders, outlines the concerns of Kenyan workers and offers suggestions for enhancing their working conditions.
To explore the history, the evolution, and the legislation and the future of HR in Kenya, so that HR professionals, students, scholars, and other people interested in HR can get information on where this profession has come from and where it is headed. I saw the legislation of the HR profession in Kenya through Human Resource Management Professionals Act number 52 of 2012. The journey for writing the book has been interesting, especially when it has taken me to remember some of the changes that took place and the reasons as to why they took place.
50 years after independence, residents of Kanyaga Village, Mbere North constituency, Embu County, have finally seen electricity in their homes. The area, which hosts one of the 7 Forks dams, has been in darkness since independence, but now foresees economic growth as they will be able to maximize their businesses and day-to-day activities that need power. This has been achieved through the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation Last Mile project, dubbed Odheri Mashinani, that has seen more than 80 households connected to electricity.
Tumekaa miaka kadhaa bila stima. Tulikuwa tunakula shinda mingi sana, nakaa kwa giza. But tangu tupate hizi stima, tuna furaha ndani ya moyo wetu. Yaani kazi mingi tunaweza kufanya yenye inaweza tumika na hizi stima, na tunashukuru.
Nataka kuhakikisha